This is Adam Bernard with AutoPerspectives, and welcome once again to a news roundup. And yes, you'll notice the format looks a little different this week. My usual software provider, Veed.io, seems to be having some significant technical issues with their website, and I cannot use it to record what I normally put together. So we're doing this a little more vintage with PowerPoint. So it'll look a little differently, but hopefully you'll find the content just as interesting. So we'll start off with the return of the Renault Twingo. I'll tell you a little personal anecdote. In 1993 was my first international auto show. That was the Geneva Motor Show. And that's where I fell in love with the original Twingo. I was a big fan through the years, followed the various iterations. It went out of production a few years ago, and now Renault has decided to bring it back, essentially sharing the same basic architecture as the new Renault 5 E-Tech, which is the CMF BEV. The new Twingo evokes the look of the original, if you do remember it, with its semicircular lamps, its one-box profile, and lots of little playful touches around the vehicle. All for a starting price of about 20,000 euros. So that'll put it right up against the upcoming VW ID.1, or whatever name they'll decide to call it. This is the production version of the ID Everyone. It'll also compete with incoming Chinese competitors like the BYD Dolphin Mini. The key part of the program for the new Twingo was speed to market, and this was enabled by a company called ACDC. This is the Renault Group R&D center that's based in Shanghai. And so Renault wanted to leverage some China expertise here. This is a 150-employee tech center, which, quote, accelerated the project by working with the local ecosystem and new industrial partners. And so they cut the development time of this vehicle by about 50%. And so they're hoping to take the learnings from that and apply it to future Renault programs as well. Obviously, there are some clear visual ties to the original. Long wheelbase, short overhangs, in this case up to 18-inch wheels, 16s are the standard size. And like the original, there's a strong focus on simplification. There are only 4 body colors available. WLTP range is rated at 163 miles, so this is definitely not the only car for the family. It is a second or third vehicle, and it still may be too short for some people, depending on whether you live in an urban area or somewhere out in more the countryside. But we'll wait to see. The sales don't actually start until next year. It does offer one-pedal driving as well as V2L and V2G capability. The latter means that you can plug electric devices into it to charge them up, and V2G means you can also return energy to the grid and maybe save yourself a little money in the process. The battery is a lithium iron phosphate, so that's the lower cost LFP setup. It's only 27.5 kilowatt hours, which is why the range is kind of on the small side. So as a result, it does charge relatively quickly because there's not a lot of energy to put into it. It'll charge under 5 hours at home or about 30 minutes at a DC fast charger. Renault notes that the new Twingo uses cell-to-pack technology to optimize energy density and to help reduce battery costs by about 20%. The new Twingo will be built in Slovenia and leverage the local supply chain, so you don't have to worry about Chinese tariffs, relying on the Chinese supply chain, etc. And Renault's target is a 60% reduction in a total carbon footprint versus a conventional internal combustion city car. Inside, very efficient interior package, even though it's fairly small. Renault claims there's more room than you might expect. There are individual sliding and reclining rear seats and a fold-flat front passenger seat, so you've got a fair amount of interior flexibility. There's a standard 10-inch touchscreen, even on the base model. We've seen other automakers that only give you a little clip for your smartphone, but there's actually a screen here for 20,000 euros with some nice welcoming animated graphics as well as a little jingle. There is a portfolio of 3D printed accessories, similar to what we've seen for the Renault 5 and the Renault 4, as well as U-clip attachment points for you to attach cup holders and purse holders and lights and whatever inside your vehicle. There are over 100 apps available for the Google-based infotainment system. I would note that the interior, as you can see, the seats pretty much all look like this. It's a little, well, I would call it unrelentingly dark. It's all black and dark gray. There are some pops of color you see on the dashboard, the doors, and the center stack, but this is one area where the new Twingo does differ from the original. And unfortunately, we've seen some other entry-level vehicles that do add a little more lightness and color inside their interiors. And, you know, you look at the center touchscreen here, and yeah, it's great to have a 10-inch touchscreen, but it does look like it was just stuck on with some glue to the middle of the dashboard. The Renault 5 has received a lot of acclaim from both the media and the buying public. They seem to have successfully applied the same formula to bring the Twingo back to life. So we'll know for sure again when the vehicle hits the market next spring. For something completely different, let's talk high performance with the Lexus Sport Concept. And yes, a new V8 engine. Now, if you recall at Pebble Beach this past August, the Lexus Sport Concept was unveiled. This is expected to be a successor to the LFA supercar, and it now has an interior, which you can see here in this photo. There's a little shot of the LF Sport Concept there on the right. It features an asymmetrical setup with a white driver's seat, a black passenger seat, a yoke-style steering wheel with an attached multi-screen IP cluster. Toyota still hasn't confirmed a production of this, but we can see it's really getting close to launch, so maybe the next 2 years or so. But alongside this, Toyota did confirm in Tokyo at the Japan Mobility Show that a new V8 is in development for both Toyota and Lexus brands. This engine is expected to power a production version of this car, along with the Toyota GR GT3, which will take them back to the racetrack. It'll be a twin-turbo hybrid configuration. Toyota says this new V8 is derived from the upcoming new turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder engine with a combustion chamber tuned for high revs rather than low-end torque. So, a couple of years ago, the notion of an automaker investing money into a new internal combustion engine was kind of unheard of. And yet now, as we see EV demand start to slack off just a bit, we're seeing that more automakers are reinvesting money into the internal combustion side of the business. Here's something different from the Tokyo Motor Show, aka the Japan Mobility Show. And if you watched last week's video, I told you to bring some stuff back, some of the more fringy type things. This is the Sharp LDK Plus. You are probably familiar with Sharp, the well-known electronics brand, and their partner Foxconn, the people that make iPhones, who several years ago announced that they would like to get into the EV business, and they actually purchased the old Lordstown plant here in the U.S. and Ohio. The LDK Plus is an evolution of the concept shown about a year ago, and it now uses Foxconn's Model A compact minivan as a starting point. LDK, by the way, stands for Living and Dining and Kitchen. Plus means it's plus, so this is designed to be kind of a mobile living space of sorts. It's designed to showcase how large language models, AI, and the Internet of Things can be integrated into passenger vehicles. The new iteration is now set up to be kind of a rolling theater with a projector, swiveling seats, and a retractable movie screen. It can also work as a meeting room or a mobile workspace. There are liquid crystal shutters on the side windows that close when parked to give you some privacy, and it features roof-mounted solar cells to add a little bit of extra range there, plus connectivity to home appliances and V2H capability. Sharp does not plan to get into the EV business, in case you're wondering, but they did want to showcase what was possible with their technology. Obviously, Foxconn is still looking to get into the business on a volume basis, and we are waiting to see which, if any, automakers they decide to partner with. Another Lexus that was shown at the Japan Mobility Show is very much the opposite of the sport concept I showed you before. This is the Micro LS, and LS, again, here it stands for luxury space. This is a Lexus for just one lucky person. It's designed to give a luxury mobility experience for one, and it ties into the new Lexus brand motto, which is, quote, to discover, unquote. It is a three-wheeler. It's around the same size as the Citroen Ami quadricycle in Europe, which of course is a two-seater, so twice as practical. It was created in California, believe it or not, and designed for point-to-point intercity travel where roads are tight and traditional cars aren't allowed. So obviously very applicable, more probably to European travel than here in the US, where we don't really have any areas that cars are banned yet. It features a canopy-style entrance, a custom Lexus luggage set, and a custom Lexus glassware set with a leather armchair as the driver's seat and bamboo floors and walls. I don't expect Lexus to get into the micro-mobility market anytime soon, but clearly the studio had a little fun exploring what this sort of thing might actually look like. Also shown in Tokyo was the Honda Micro EV, which they refer to only as a design study at the moment. This is actually more similar in character to the Citroen Ami and things like the Mobilized Duo, some of the other two-passenger quadricycles that we see hitting the market in Europe. The bench seat inside is integrated into the body structure. There is stowage for a skateboard under the bench seat for some even smaller last-mile mobility. And inside, if you look in the upper right, the dashboard is very minimalist with a yoke-style steering wheel and a dock for your smartphone. So again, no touchscreen here, designed to keep costs down. Again, just a design study at this point, no plans for production, but who knows, at some point, Honda might decide to pull the trigger. And finally, a do-it-yourself truck from Toyota. If you're familiar with Toyota's IMV platform, this was developed quite a while back to create a body-on-frame architecture for emerging markets, and that platform sources several vehicles that we don't see here in the North American market, but notably the Toyota Hilux, which just got a redo this past week. This is essentially kind of a flat pack truck. It's as minimal as you can get it. Toyota, as they describe it, will build the base and then they leave it to the customer to finish it off. So there's really kind of the bare minimum of a vehicle that you see here. It's basically a skateboard with all the motorized bits attached to it. Up front, there's a dip in the pan, essentially a place to put your feet. You see a seat there, which is just barely more comfortable than a patio cushion. The headlights are mounted up on the dashboard. You have sort of an enclosure, semi-enclosure for the driver, but really it's designed for the owner of the vehicle to turn this into a tow truck or a delivery van or whatever it is they decide to do with it. And that about wraps up things for this week's Auto Perspectives News Roundup. If you want to learn more about Auto Perspectives, please visit our website at autoperspectives.net. You can check out the blog as well. If you like what you see and hear, please subscribe and share, and look forward to catching up with you again next week. So long.